buying my shirt before she leave, I'ma need my shirt back.
Hello you guys, I am back. Hello everyone, it is me, Yani.joeli. You guys are probably like, who's this girl on my screen, who's this lady on my screen? You know, like, I don't even remember who she is. You guys, listen, I am back, and literally I'm back this time. I haven't posted a video in basically a year. Last time I posted a video was March last year, 2023. But I'm so excited to be back in front of the camera. I have missed it. I have missed vlogging, talking to you guys, interacting with you guys. But I'm back, and I'm really just, I wanted to make this video really just to like kind of recap over what's been going on the past year, tell you guys what's new, like what's coming next in my channel, what kind of videos you guys can expect, and really just give a word of encouragement and share how God has been moving in my life, because he has been doing some great things. He always has been, but he's just been doing amazing things in my life. So my voice just cracked, but I'm really excited, you guys. And yeah, if you guys don't know who I am or need a refresher or whatever, I used to post a lot of videos back, like maybe 2 years ago, probably almost 3 years ago, a year ago, whatever. I posted a lot of nail tech videos. I did one lock video that you guys loved, and just like little vlogs or just little videos here and there. But I definitely plan on continuing that content, so just stay tuned. But I really just wanted to get back on here, my first like video back, and just kind of like recap, you know, what's wrong with my voice? Recap, share what God's been doing, give a word of encouragement, and just, yeah, just a nice little get back video. Yeah, y'all can like leave questions, whatever, anything y'all want to. So I wrote down the stuff I wanted to talk about just so I could like not forget. I don't want to make this video crazy long, but at the same time, I really just want to like just give y'all what's been going on and everything. We're gonna start with literally just like a recap. Like, I guess since last year, a lot has happened in the past year. It is what, March? It's like March 8th, 9th or something like that. And so much has happened. My life is completely different from a year ago. Like, my life looks completely different, and that's just like, that's one of the main things that I'm just like, it was literally God. So I remember I used to film like little diaries, like video diaries, where I would just talk about my feelings and talk about how it was, what was going on in my life, how I was feeling, things like that. And I literally remember, I can put the video like screenshot with the date a year ago today, or it was like February, I think, last year, 2023. And I watched that video back, and I would just remember talking about how I just was kind of sad. Like, I wasn't encouraged. I was feeling unmotivated. I was feeling lost. I didn't know what was going to be happening next. Like, I just felt unmotivated, discouraged, lost, all of that. I had a crazy amount of debt. I didn't have no money. My nail business was like not going well. I was still in school, full-time college student, and I had new bills coming up. So it was just like, I was in not a good space filming that video. And I literally remember how I was feeling back then. But to fast forward like a year from now to see how things have changed is just crazy. And just see how even things had changed within the next few months after February. But literally, I'll just start from last February. Last February, like I said, didn't have no money, was still a full-time student. Nail business I barely had any clients. At that time, I was a mobile nail tech, so I was basically traveling, and you know, I was doing a daily booth rent, so I had to pack up my stuff every time I had a client. It was just a lot going on. And so because I was like, okay, something's got to give, I got to do something. I got these bills coming up, I got a bunch of debt, and I don't have the money. Like, I need to do something. So I got a job at Olive Garden. I was like, you know, I've always kind of wanted to be a server. Let me start serving at Olive Garden. And that's what I did. And I remember I would like DoorDash here and there when I needed the money and when I knew I had like a bill coming up or something. So yeah, that's what I did. I literally worked at Olive Garden from like February to February to June of last year. And within that time period, my nail business had started to pick up a little bit, thank God. But literally, I was full-time college student, working at Olive Garden, and still taking clients, and still finding time for like the gym or church, social life, whatever. So that whole time period, those few months of me still being in school and everything, I was tired every day. I had long days. It would look like me going to class, going straight from class to clients, going straight to like Olive Garden, and then coming home and repeating. I was so busy, you guys, so busy. But working all of those times definitely helped me start to get my like finances back together a little bit. But I was so busy and I was working so much. I would work like maybe 6-hour days at the salon I was at, and then go straight to Olive Garden another like 6 hours or something. It was crazy. And then I was still trying to find time for homework and stuff, and like I said, a social life. But that's what I did basically February to June. I was just working both of those, both nails and Olive Garden. Like I said, at that time I was doing like daily booth rent, so I was traveling as a nail tech, and that was getting so tiring. I was doing that for like 8 months and I was tired. And so I started like think about, I was like, hey, like I really want to get my own like a booth or something, a space, something like that. But I was a little nervous because it was going to be the most amount of expenses I would have ever taken on in my business, and I wasn't sure. But I was still praying, you know, like I feel like it was time. This was around May of last year, and so I'm like praying or whatever, looking, couldn't find nothing, couldn't find no kind of suites, booths or nothing. Thank God. I went to an event for school. It was like an entrepreneurship event, and one of the people talking was a nail tech in my area. And you know, afterwards she was done, I went up to her just to like network, whatever, and she ended up telling me about a salon that like sounded great, all of what I needed basically. I'm like, wow, this is God basically, you know, because the very next day I went and toured the place, and I was like, oh, this is great, like everything I was basically looking for. I'd be renting a booth, and it was still within like what I feel like I could handle as a business. And I knew it was like confirmation from God, because literally I think a day later after I toured the space, after I toured the salon, I had checked my DMs. I guess I like overlooked it, but the owner of the salon had contacted me and said she would love to have me in her salon. So I was like, okay, great. I'm good to go. Like, let me kind of take a leap of faith, because like I said, it was still going to be a bigger expense for me as a business owner. But that's what I did. I moved into my suite, or not my suite, I moved into the salon with other nail techs, and I was doing booth rent May of last year. I was very nervous. Because at the same time that I was moving, I was also increasing my prices. So I was like, this is kind of a lot of change for my clients. I don't know how they're going to take it. You know, am I going to lose clients? Am I going to, you know, slow down? Like, I still have a booth rent to cover. And so I was just like a little nervous, but literally that month, May, my business had like started growing even more. Just for me, like even being in the salon environment, being in a more professional setting, like I was stationary, had a booth, I was with other nail techs. So it definitely brought in more clientele for me. And like, it was a really good month because I just got busier. And so, May, also end of May, like school was ended. So after that, I just had one last semester. And so literally over the summer, like June, July, August, I went full-time in nails. I didn't end up really quitting Olive Garden. I had to stop working anyway, because that particular Olive Garden had gotten shut down because they weren't bringing enough money. And when I tell you, listen, I was literally there just for the coworkers, because the money there was not it. It was not worth it. Tips were not good. People were not tipping, which is probably why we shut down. But yeah, I went full-time in nails over the summer. And I did that because I knew when I graduated later in the year, after like in December, I really wanted to be a full-time nail tech once I graduated from college. And so like summertime was kind of like my test run. And so it ended up being a great idea, full-time over the summer as a nail tech. I was growing a lot, I was getting a lot of new clientele. I had started introducing pedicures into my services, and it was just going really well. I think July last year was like one of my highest grossing months up to date back then. And so it was just a great summer of just like working. Then it was time for like school to start back up back in August. And so school started back in August. It was my last final semester. I was so excited to almost be done with school because college was so much, you guys. So much running a business and being a full-time student. It was a lot of work. School time came around and I was still working in the salon. I was still a nail tech, working about like 5 days out the week in the salon. So I was still pretty busy, full-time student, full-time basically business owner, nail tech. And it was a lot of work as well. Definitely, because I knew it was my last semester, I definitely think I slacked off a little bit, which I shouldn't have, because I had this one class where I was like doing so bad and I was almost like failed it, and it was the one class I needed to graduate. So I was like, okay, let me tighten up a little bit. But I did end up going to Mexico back in September for a wedding, and that was really fun. Literally, yeah, like my last semester, I was just working, going to classes and stuff, you know, hanging out with friends here and there, and everything like that. And then graduation came in December. So by this time, like my business was still going pretty well. I had like consistent clientele, but I also had like personal things going on. So like December time frame was just a lot going on with like family stuff, getting ready for graduation, preparing for all that. I would actually want to rewind, because back in like August, let me just rewind, because back in August, because I knew I was getting ready to graduate and I knew like real life was kind of starting soon, I knew I needed to find a space for nails, because I was going to end up moving back home with my parents, and I wasn't going to be traveling anymore to like where I was working at currently. So I needed to find a space to do nails in. And so I was like, I remember contacting places, like looking for suites, touring suites. This was all while I was in school. My last semester, I was like touring spaces, getting in contact with managers to find a space. And then I was also a little nervous about like post-grad plans, because I really wanted to be a full-time nail tech, but I was nervous about like, is this really going to be enough income to sustain me full-time? And I'm relocating, because you know, relocating can come with losing clients and people not wanting to come to you. So it's like, I didn't know whether I should do nails part-time, get a full-time corporate job, get a part-time corporate job, do nails full-time. Like I was kind of all over the place. I didn't really know what was in store, but I just knew like, you know, I needed to just kind of trust God and know that he has a plan and he's gonna work things out for me. And so throughout this whole semester, my last semester, I was keeping in contact with the managers from the suites, and I ended up calling one like I think a few days before Thanksgiving, and I was like, hey, can I just tour these spaces again? Because I would already looked at these spaces, but I just was like wanting to be sure. And she was like, yeah, like you can definitely tour it. She was telling me the price of it and everything, and I literally toured it the day before Thanksgiving. I toured it the day of Thanksgiving last year, and as soon as I toured it, I knew immediately like this is the place for me. Literally the space I'm in right now that I'm filming in, I was like, this is the suite for me. Like it's 100%. It was more than what I even prayed for, asked God for. It's like under budget. It's a great space, great area, everything. I told her, I was like, yeah, I definitely want to sign the lease for this place. And she was like, okay, well, this is a part of one of our deals that we have going on, and there's a lot of people that want this space as well. So it was a Black Friday deal. So like by Black Friday, you could sign the lease. And so she was like, you have to sign the lease by 12 a.m. midnight. And the way it's going is whoever's name was on the lease first at midnight, that's who gets it. And so I was like, okay, I got you. So I'm over here praying the night before, like, God, please let me get this space. Please let me get this space. And as soon as midnight hit, I was signing. And so I didn't find out until the next day, Black Friday, that I ended up getting the place, getting the suite. And I was so thankful, so thankful, because it was just so much better than what I had even prayed for, what I had even asked for. And I was just so excited to finally be on my own, have my own space with my business name on it, with my name on it. And I was finally gonna be like independent. And in my nail journey, I've gone through so much, so much. And just for me to finally be on my own like this, it was like, okay, like I can see the vision. I could see me really doing this full time. I could really see me doing this as a career and it being successful. And so I was just so thankful, so thankful. And yeah, I'm in the space now that I'm filming in, but definitely I want to do a video like later on as far as my nail journey, because that in itself is a whole other thing as well. That's how I got my suite. But then let me just rewind back again. I'm trying not to make this video all over the place, but it's a lot I'm trying to remember. Said back in December, so that's when I finally got ready to graduate. I took my grad pics. You guys, my grad pics came out so cute. But let me tell you, it was a journey getting there, because literally the morning of my grad pics, my car went out on me. Like it completely shut down. Like I no longer had a car, to the point where my makeup artist, bless her heart, took me home, took me back to campus, because I was living on campus at the time. So like basically December, morning of grad pics, my car goes out. I don't have a car. Mind you, I still have to travel back and forth to home, and like where my college is like an hour and a half apart. I still had to travel back and forth. I still had clients. I still had things I had to take care of. I was in the process of moving out of my dorm. It was just kind of like the worst time to lose a car. And so that was another thing stressing me out around that time period. Literally, graduation came. Graduation day was great. Definitely a really happy time and like moment and milestone that I'll remember. Yeah, I was still without a car, and I was just like, well, dang. I was wanting to get a car, but it wasn't going to be until like months later. And now I don't have a car, and I'm just like, well, what am I supposed to do? I don't really have the funds to be trying to get a car at the time. And so I was struggling basically. But thank God, God always provides. Like I was able to use my mom's car, and like when I couldn't use my mom's, my brother would let me use his car. So like God was literally still always providing for me, and making sure like I got to where I needed to go. But I remember telling you guys that I was nervous about like what to do post-grad, as far as get a corporate job or be a full-time nail tech. And so ultimately I ended up deciding to be a full-time nail tech. I had a peace about it, because like God was showing me like I'll provide for you. I will bring you the clientele. Like just continue to seek me and follow me, and like I will bring you the clientele basically. And so I ended up relocating. In January of this year. And I remember being nervous about like, am I gonna have clients? Like what's gonna happen? Like kind of thing. But literally God has brought me the clientele. Even some of my clients from my old location still travel to me. And I'm just so thankful, because I remember being so worried about where I was gonna be at in January, if I was gonna have clientele, like things like that. And God literally provided, and is still providing clientele for me and allowing me to just grow. Yeah, so me relocating places, business places, has been such a great idea. And me going full-time, I can now like focus on my business full-time and really get back to things I enjoy loving, like creating content, growing my business even more, and implementing ideas that I've had in mind. I just haven't had time to do, because school was always in the way kind of thing. Just to like look back from where I was in February to where I am now, like through that whole last year, I was able to clear out that debt I had just from like my nail business alone. I was able to get together like finances and just be more like financially responsible, learn how to even do things like that, like budget and things like that. And yeah, like my life has just changed so much just from a whole year. For me, actually, last thing I want to talk about too is what happened with my whole car situation, because I was without a car. I didn't have a car in December. Literally, I remember this year, January 1st, this year, my old car, been with me through a lot, but she got towed January 1st of this year, and literally a month later, February 4th of this year, I purchased my car that I have now. So I'm so thankful, praise God, because it was I couldn't even tell you, like, I was not thinking I was gonna be buying a car this soon after losing a car, and this definitely like not this soon after graduating. But I'm so thankful to God, because again, like, this car is even more than what I was even asking for or praying for. And like, that's just how God is. The devil is a lie, because why did it just cut off in the middle of me talking about God? But like I was saying, God will always give you more than you can ask, think, or imagine. If you just continue to seek him, continue to follow him, just seek him with your whole heart and soul. Seek him with your whole heart and soul and mind. That's literally, I'm telling you, like, that's literally how God, like, how I've been able to be blessed, is just continually seeking after God and putting my trust in him and literally walking by faith. Because I just want to encourage anyone who's confused or may not know like what their next steps are in life, their purpose, or like what they should be doing at the moment. Honestly, I'm just encouraging you to pray about it. And I know like that's can sound like a cliche thing to say, but literally pray about it and trust God, because God will direct you. He will direct your steps if you just pray, believe, and just get to know him. Spend time in prayer, spend time like in his word, but literally like God will take care of it. You know, like, you don't have to worry about what's going to be happening tomorrow, the next day, in your future, a few years from now. God will take care of it, and he will direct your steps. All you have to do is just seek after him and, you know, live your life for him. But honestly, if you guys remember one thing from this video, just remember, have faith and trust in God, and I promise you, you will be okay. But yeah, you guys, that was basically a recap of the past year, where God has brought me from and where I am now. And so now I just kind of want to talk about like what's next in my channel, like what's next you guys can see from me. So I definitely plan on creating more lock content. I know I posted a video like after 2 months, and I just kind of like ghosting you guys, but I'm still locked. This is invisible locks. This is added hair, but I definitely will come back on here when my hair is taken out and you guys can see how long my hair is, because it's grown a lot. But I definitely plan on making more lock content. I actually have a lock page that I post more frequently on. It's going to be in the description as well as on the screen, at yanilocs on Instagram. So you guys can definitely see more of my journey on Instagram, because I've been documenting since I locked my hair back in 2022. So definitely more lock content coming, definitely more nail content coming. I miss doing the day in life of a nail tech videos, so I'll be coming out with those again, coming out with tips, trick tutorials, literally anything that I can think of, that you guys can think of. So definitely give me suggestions in the comments of what kind of videos you want to see, whether that be lock content, nail content, faith talk content. So I definitely want to start introducing that on my channel, since my faith is a huge part of my life. Yeah, any kind of content y'all want to see, just let me know in the comments. Hopefully I was able to encourage you guys and just spread positivity, because we need that in this world where a lot of negative things can happen. But yeah, you guys, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Be sure to follow me on my social media and hit the subscribe button. My social media is going to be in the description, not on the screen because I have way too many pages, but definitely follow me on my social medias and keep up with me on there, and hit the subscribe button, because I'm finally back and I'm so excited. And I'm really back this time because I have time. School was taking up so much time, but now I can literally focus on making content again. So yeah, you guys, hope y'all enjoyed. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, y'all.